classroom friends. In today's class, we are going to learn about chemistry in your life. So let me give you an introduction. So you may think that I am going to have supermarket. No. So the only one thing which we are going to learn in this lesson is the link between chemistry and the basic products which we use in our daily life. Okay, that's why I wrote like this: food and chemistry, cosmetics and chemistry, then chemistry and medicine. Like that I have written. Okay, now we can learn. So chemistry deals with the basic products that we use in our daily life. These products are made through chemical reaction. For examples, the cake you eat has baking soda. Okay. So the food tastes good because of common salt. The sweetened drinks you like are because of sugar. And onion tastes good because of vinegar. The air we breathe has many dissolved gases such as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, which can be studied under chemistry. So thus we see that most of our needs are fulfilled by chemical compounds. So it's very important to study about these chemical compounds through a branch of science known as chemistry. There are many scientists who have contributed to many branches of chemistry. So let's learn about some of the scientists and their contributions to our day-to-day life. Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur is a French chemist and microbiologist renowned for the discoveries of the principles of vaccination, fermentation and pasteurization. So pasteurization is a 100-year-old process which is used to destroy pathogens through simple heat. It is best known for its role in making milk and juices safe for consumption. French chemist and microbiologist Louis Pasteur invented the straightforward food safety technique in 1864. Henry Cavendish. He is a British philosopher and a scientist. So he is both a physicist as well as chemist. He is known for the discovery of hydrogen, or what he called as inflammable air. In 1766, he got this gas by adding sulfuric acid to zinc. So he studied the properties of the gas and he termed it as inflammable. So he also proved that when this gas, hydrogen, is burned in the air, it forms water. How? So what's the formula of water? H2O. What's in the air? O. So what gas I'm burning? Hydrogen. HO. What? Water. Easy. Understood? So that's why it forms water. Okay. So now let's learn about, have you heard hydrogen cars? Okay. So there are already many experimental cars that run on hydrogen have already been built. But the fuel is not hydrogen. It's a compound of hydrogen. So when this compound is heated, hydrogen gas is released. So in early days, this hydrogen gas was used for filling weather forecasting balloons. But then they were replaced with helium because these balloons were responsible for airship disaster in 1930s. So this is because the hydrogen readily burst into flame, forming an explosive mixture with the oxygen in the air. So what's that explosive mixture? Water, right? So it forms explosive mixture in the air. So that's why now we are using helium in the weather forecasting balloon and airships. Okay. So the next is about Daniel Rutherford. So Daniel Rutherford is a Scottish physician, chemist as well as a botanist. So he is known for the isolation of nitrogen. Nitrogen is an important constituent of air. It's an inactive component which is used to slow down the process of combustion and respiration. It gives very low temperature and it's used to store blood as well as cornea of the eye in laboratory. Do you think nitrogen is used for filling the packets of chips, wafers in order so that as it prevents oxidation and keeps the food crisp and fresh. So that's why they will tell like this. You will see the date. Hey, it's this date, no? And they will tell, no, it's fresh. You'll buy and come. You'll eat. You'll be so crispy, like it is made today. That's because of nitrogen and other chemicals, preservatives, gases which are present inside it. Okay, so that and all we will be learning here. So in the next is about application of chemistry. So now we learn about how they contributed to the different branches of chemistry. Now, how we are applying in our life. We are going to learn about that. Just wait a minute. Now we can start. So food and chemistry. So most of the food we eat are the chemical compounds whether obtained naturally or prepared artificially. So most of the food are used as preservatives in pickles, jams, and even for giving special taste to food. So now we can learn about some food compounds which is used in the food industry. The first is common salt. So this is only common salt, okay? So this is essential for a diet. It makes an essential part of our diet. So this salt it is used as a preservative in pickles and also for curing meat and fish. So next is about food preservatives. So benzoates like sodium benzoate, benzoic acid, nitrates, then sodium dioxide. So these are some of the preservatives of the food. So the next is about sugar. So most of the sugar we get is from the sugarcane juice. So the sugar it forms in very viscous medium which prevents the growth of the microorganisms like bacteria and all. So hence it is used as used in jams, jellies, so that no bacteria will be there and it can be stored for a long time. Right? Next is complex food compounds, organic compounds. What do you mean by that? Nothing, carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is a biological molecule of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Three linked together we get carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a complex food molecule. It is broken down into simple sugar, that's glucose, by our digestive system so that it can be easily absorbed by our body. So a long chain polymer of the long straight chain polymer of this glucose is known as starch. It is present in foodstuff like potatoes. Yeah. Okay. Next is the branch chain of glucose is known as cellulose. So it is present in green leaves and many other things. Okay. Next is about proteins. So proteins are molecules which have nitrogen. So proteins are useful for our body for growth, repair as well as to repair worn out body cells as well as organelles. So the proteins which are obtained from plants like pulses, they are known as plant proteins. The proteins which are obtained from animal like meat, fish, so they are known as animal proteins. So that's all about food and chemistry. Cosmetics and chemistry. Here. Okay. So cosmetics and chemistry. So cosmetic is a substance of preparation which is kept in contact with any external part of a body. So we use cosmetics in order to change the appearance of a body, right? So for example, perfume is used to alter its odors. So most of the chemical compounds which are made are used in the preparation of these cosmetics. So here are two examples. One is a cream and one is powder. So these are two of the examples of cosmetics. Next is clothing and chemistry. So what do you mean by cloth? How is it made? By fibers. Fibers are nothing like thin thread-like materials. So they are used to make fabrics as well as cloths. So there are two types, natural and synthetic. Natural means like wool, cotton, silk. Synthetic means like nylon, polyester, etc. So further textile chemistry is a specific field which is used to meet the demands of the market of textile. It's used to do many cloths as well as textiles in order to meet the demands of market. So the next is about cement and glass. Cement is nothing but a mixture of limestone as well as clay. So when these two are mixed, we get cement. When the cement is water, it forms hard rock like moss. It is used for construction purposes. Glass. Glass is an amorphous. Here, this is a mirror. So it's an amorphous and So okay, I forgot. Okay, amorphous and yes, transparent. So it's an amorphous and transparent object which is made through the silicates of sodium as well as calcium. So this is a mirror. Okay, so it's also an example of glass. So a new fantastic thing. Blue colored glass can be made by adding cobalt oxide. So that's a fantastic thing. Okay. So the next is about polymers and plastics. Polymers are nothing than a branched chain of the same kind of molecules which are linked together or known as polymers. Some naturally occurring polymers are like silk, wool, cotton and cellulose. So the small molecules which are the linking units of these polymers are known as monomers. Poly means many, mono means one. Can you understand it? Okay. So the next is plastic. So the polymers of the plastics are of two types. They are thermoplastics as well as thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics are nothing than the plastic which can be molded again and again by melting. Like they can be heated again and again and it changes its shape and they can be molded in any shape is known as thermoplastics. So one of the examples of thermoplastic is polystyrene. So this is a polythene bag. Okay. So thermosetting plastic is just opposite. So the plastic which can be heated and melted only once and can be molded only once is known as the thermosetting plastic. So one example is bakelite. So next is about soaps and detergents. Soaps are sodium salts having carboxylic acid, so they form a cleaning reaction in the water. So okay. So one example is C17, H35, I just forget it. So this soap, so it forms an complex in the water. The dirt, everything, it forms an complex. So it is removed by brushing. So this is one of the example of a soap. So here there was a soap. It's not actually soap, it's a detergent cake. Okay. So next about detergents. So detergents are nothing then. So they are hydrocarbons. So they are made from petroleums and coals. So these detergents have the same structure of the soaps. C17H35OSO -3Na+. So this is an example of a synthetic detergent. Okay, now we can learn about pesticides and fertilizers. So this is an example of a detergent. Okay. So pesticides and fertilizers. Yeah. So pesticides are nothing than they are pesticides or chemicals which are used to take an action against pests like rats, fungi, insects, etc. So example BHC. So this is an insecticide. Okay. So it is used to kill cockroaches. Okay. So the next is about fertilizers. Fertilizers are chemicals which are used to make the soil more fertile as they have many essential nutrients. Example urea. So paint. Yeah. So paints are mixtures of colored powder, one or many colored powder substances as well as a liquid which is used to provide a protective as well as a decorative finish to smooth surfaces. So this is an example of a paint. Okay. So next we are going to learn about chemistry and medicine. It's the most important thing in our life, right? So substances, so medicines. So substances, it may be drug or in any preparation which are used in the prevention or the treatment of various diseases in our body are known as medicines. So in earlier days, man has been dependent on the natural medicines like from the trees then barks, leaf, roots, stems, etc. So, for example, quinine is a medicine from cinchona tree, and this is nothing than eucalyptus oil. So, it has been taken from the leaf of the eucalyptus. Okay. So, the next is we are going to learn about two types of drugs. So, one is analgesics and another is antipyretics. Analgesics are drugs which are which help us to relieve pain, or known as analgesics. Example, aspirin. Then antipyretics. So the drugs which help us to bring our body high temperature during our fever down, or known as antipyretics. So one example is paracetamol. Okay. So one mistake I made is it's not antipyretics, antipyretics. Okay. So this is also an example of an syrup. Okay. So it is used for to recover and the treatment of our body. Okay. So now let's have summary. So today we learned about the introduction. That's introduction. Then about the three different scientists, the application of chemistry in your daily life, food chemistry, then cosmetics and chemistry, then clothing and chemistry, cement and glass, polymers and plastics, soaps and detergents, then pesticide, fertilizers, paints, chemistry and medicine. So hope you enjoyed my exciting class today. So see you in the next class, friends. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed my supermarket.